Hi, and welcome along to AFTV Transfer Daily, the show that keeps you up to date with players that have been linked with a January transfer move to Arsenal. Gearing up at the moment for the game tomorrow. Arsenal taking on Sheffield United. Big game for Arsenal. Really need to try and get 3 points out of that game. We've been drawing too many games recently when you check it. And really, what we really need to get really motoring is our home form. Of course, we had that good victory against Manchester United, and really need to continue it through against Sheffield United. But will any be new players be coming into the club? That's what you guys all want to know. That's what I want to know. That's what everybody at the moment is looking at. And the one area, every day I talk about it, the one area what we really need to get somebody in is at centre-back. Now, Dakonam, spoke about him yesterday. Again, lots of rumours about him today. Who plays for Getafe, 28 years old, valued at about £22 million. He's a Togo international as well. And remember, I was saying yesterday that he's previously featured in 2 La Liga teams of the year. Whatever unsung hero, one of those sort of players that, you know, maybe not everybody's raving about and talking about because he's not really at a big fashionable club. He's just at a small club over there in Spain, in Getafe, but has been quietly going about his business and doing it very well. Now, we scouted this guy before. When Arsene Wenger was here, we were scouting Dakonam. You know, we've been looking for good centre-backs for a very long time, but we didn't opt to go in for him. But now, of course, we need a centre-back. It really is a problem position for Arsenal. And could this guy be the answer, or should we be waiting to go for somebody better? Spurs are said to be chasing him as well. Monaco have said to put a bid in for him already, and that bid was turned down. Will this one happen in January? Who knows? But we are heavily linked yet again with him today. Jerome Boateng was a player we was heavily linked with at the start of the window. Things have kind of sort of eased down a bit on that, cooled a bit on that. But again today, news about Jerome Boateng, and the news is that it looks like Bayern Munich are going to hold on to the 31-year-old. Bayern Munich got a little bit, well, I won't say injury crisis, but they've got a lot of players out injured at the moment. Said to me about 6 players, 2 centre-backs missing, and Bayern are sort of looking at it and saying, we don't really want to lose Jerome Boateng now. Remember, Bayern Munich still got an outside chance of winning the league. They did come from behind last year and then end up winning it pretty comfortably over Borussia Dortmund. They are also still in the Champions League as well. So, you know, Jerome Boateng could still be quite an important player for them. And the talk is today that they're not willing to let him go. So, again, that might, lessen the chances of Arsenal getting a centre-back in. There was a lot of talk that Arsenal might go for Boateng, possibly on loan until the end of the season, which would possibly make sense. He can also cover at right-back as well. But it looks like Bayern Munich are not willing to sell Jerome Boateng at this time. And then we spoke about this player yesterday. He plays for PSG, Lervin Kurzawa, 27 now. And a left back, and as I said, plays for Paris Saint-Germain. Still lots and lots of talk today around him. The suggestions are that Raul Sanelli was in heavy talks yesterday with PSG over the player. He's a free agent. That means he's available to go for nothing in the summer. When they first bought him, PSG, they had real high hopes for him. They bought him in from Monaco. He was in, he's getting into the French national team. A lot of people were really talking him up. But it hasn't really happened for him at PSG. It hasn't happened for him at all. Hence why they don't seem to be in a hurry to renew his contract. His contract is running down, and Arsenal are very interested in signing him. He's free to talk to any club he wants to right now. And the suggestions are is that Arsenal will get this one done for the summer, and that this will be a summer move. Although there have been some outlets saying that maybe this could happen right now in January. A left back, you know, we've got Kieran Tierney, we've got Kolasinac. I don't really get this one. I mean, I know that Mikel Arteta definitely wants to play with overlapping fullbacks, players that really get high up the pitch. And this guy, he fits that bill. He does that very well. Gets good crosses into the box. But we've already got, you know, Tierney, we've got Kolasinac. Is that a priority? I don't know. I suppose you've got to look ahead, you know, to the summer, and if you can get this guy fairly cheap, and you know that at the moment, you know, we're working with a limited budget. Well, I understand it, but I don't know. And of course, Frank Kessie, still lots of talk about him today as well, despite the fact that, you know, when asked about Frank Kessie from AC Milan, that Mikel Arteta said, no, we're not interested. There's no truth in it. He did say this sort of, there's no truth in it at the moment. So I suppose that's what sort of left it a little bit open. And Mikel Arteta has spoken about, you know, defensive position and midfield position. And we're going to see tomorrow, you know, with Torreira possibly out, that we are a bit light in that position. But I don't know. He's already said he's not really interested in him. They want about 22 to 23 million pounds for him, which Arsenal are not prepared to pay this January transfer window. So I don't know. I see it highly unlikely as this one happening, but it's still around today. And do you know, I was just thinking a lot about the January transfer window today, and I wanted to kind of put it to you guys, and I'm going to get into some of your comments as well. Haven't done some of your comments for a few days as well, but on the January transfer window, do you sort of understand where Arsenal are sort of coming from at the moment? Is it worth going out there and trying to spend big money, or is it just best to keep your cards close to your chest, just try and hold out until the summer and try and go big there? Because the problem with January is so hard to get a real top quality player in. You know, it's really difficult to do that, you know. A lot of buys in January seem to be panic buys. Remember Kim Kallstrom. And I just look on it and I say, for instance, even as I mentioned there, Dakonam, do you go and buy a player like that right now for, say, you know, £22 million, and he's good, but he's still not quite that real top quality centre-back that you're after? Or do you wait until the summer and say, right, we're going to go hard and try and get Upamecano or somebody like that, when they may be more readily available because, you know, they're not playing for clubs that are in the Champions League. They're not playing for, you know, you're not going to have to pay a massive premium for them if you're going to try and get them away from them clubs at this stage. It is a real difficult situation in January. And I think that's why we're seeing a lack of spending at the moment from Arsenal. Even from, listen, what big deals have been done so far this January? You know, nothing really. I mean, there's still a way to go, and we still see a rush towards the end of the January transfer window. But is it just a bit of a panic buying window? That's what I'd really like you guys to let me know on. I've got the old laptop here, and I'm going to go through a few of your comments. Let me start off with this one. It's from Shabnam Pandy. He said, I would prefer loan deals just to get us through the season, and then go all out in the summer to buy long-term players who fit Arteta's philosophy. Absolutely exactly what I'm just talking about. You know, would you be happy if at the end of this month we haven't signed nobody, and then Arteta says it's because I'm holding out till the summer to get somebody? Or do you think to yourself, we're in such a desperate situation now, especially at the back, we need to get somebody in right now? Or do you think to yourself, we're Arsenal Football Club, we should be able to go and dislodge like an Upamecano and that, or are those days done? Geordie Wing says, Kurzawa, he goes, laugh out loud. PSG fans would gladly send him Arsenal's way. He's not really hit it off at PSG. That is the truth of the matter. Cornelius Romeo said, this club is slowly becoming a joke. We need a quality centre-back. Why haven't we got one yet? Kiss my teeth. Oh, my teeth, right? Marcel Brown, he says 16 days. This is what he said yesterday. He said 16 days and no quality players in. Again, another person that's very frustrated that Arsenal haven't signed anybody yet. Billy England says, can anyone tell me why we need 3 left backs and no right backs apart from Bellerin, who hasn't been fit in a year and can't seem to stay fit? Tierney has been a disaster. He's been injured when he was injured when we signed him, just like Kim Kallstrom with a broken back. That is actually true. We did sign Tierney injured. We should put the 25 million towards Upamecano in the summer. Now everyone is wise to him. We won't get him, and we could get Kurzawa for free anyway. Some good points there. Jesse B says Kurzawa, PSG star. I think I described him yesterday as a PSG star. He said, no effing way, injury prone, and most of all, can't defend, don't need another Andre Santos. And finally, we'll go with this one. We are Arsenal. Let's finish positive. He says, believe people, we will sign someone. Yeah, I hope so. All right. Listen, thanks for watching AFTV Transfer Daily today. We'll be back tomorrow. Of course, we've got the game tomorrow at Sheffield United. Hopefully, we're getting close to signing somebody.